Coming to you live from downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College MediaPlex production.
Good evening, I'm Zach Rivalog.
And I'm Kiranpreet Kaur, and you're watching the MediaPlex Insider.
So much talk about the tunnel bus, and Drew Dilkins is blaming Donald Trump as to why he has to shut it down. Let's hear from the panel. Welcome to the chattiest show on television. My name is Zach, and I'm here with
Riley Shea,
Ksenia Semenova,
Rima Bakshrabats.
Lovely for all you to be with me this evening. Well, victory has prevailed. The big news this week is that the tunnel bus has been saved. After nearly a month of budget deliberations, City Council voted to keep the tunnel bus moving. However, there is a downside, and that is they decided to cut the secondary school extra buses. So what do we think about this?
Well, I think Ksenia has some thoughts, so I'm going to let her go first.
I have a lot of thoughts,
Okay.
you know. So the first thought is, why high schoolers don't have yellow school buses? What is the problem and why? Because I was talking with Riley. One of the most important things is the girls' uniforms.
Yes.
How they are allowed to go in their Catholic school uniforms in the public transportation with this Sailor Moon short skirts that are can be called even belts, but not skirts. And it's disgusting. It's horrible. It's immoral.
Yes.
Is the first thing. The second one, how the school buses are formed, the system in the morning. My son's school bus in the morning pickups first. From the beginning, it gets late most of the time.
It's late every day.
Yes. In the morning, it goes to the Westgate School, the public school, and after this, it comes back in 20 minutes or sometimes in 30 minutes, so it's very, really late, and I don't receive any notification on my email. And then it goes to the Catholic board school. So why they're shorting the school buses, the people around, they're not notifying, and sometimes they're changing even the drivers. The drivers don't know us. They don't stop. They just go. They just go. And after this, I need to bring my son to the school.
Yourself, yes.
Yes, myself. So yeah, I have a lot of things to say.
Mm-hmm. I think, I don't know if every high school uses city buses. I know some don't have any bus system at all. Like one of my friends growing up, she had to take the city bus like on her own to go to school. And it was a little scary for her at first, but she got used to it. And then I know on my street, there's like an extra bus, a city bus that picks up high schoolers right at their door. So if they're getting rid of that, then that means they're going to have to either walk to the Dougal 6 or walk to the Transway 1A, which is at the mall, because that's kind of where my subdivision is. So that's like a 10, 15-minute walk in either direction. I don't know if some of the schools do have their own buses, like for high school or not. I'm not entirely sure. But I think it kind of, on one hand, it's great that the tunnel bus is back because that's a huge deal. And it's a big thing that a lot of people use, even people that have regular transportation like a vehicle. If they don't want to bring their car over for like a sports game or a concert, it's a great source of revenue. It's a great community thing to have. But I think it's a shame that you're also taking away these other things when I'm sure there are other things in the budget that we could be taking money from. Now, I'm not a city councilor, as Drew Dilkins likes to say. You know, if we were the people in the room, we would have a different opinion. But I think there's more that could be done.
I'm sorry. I would say that I think it's a huge win for the public that like little by little started having more things for the community. So I think that tunnel buses that are not canceled.
Yeah, that's a win.
It's a win. So little by little, we'll get more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zach?
So I have a few things. I'm also glad that the tunnel bus has been saved because that is like Windsor's history right there. Like that's one of the ways we're connected to Detroit and here. So I'm glad it's been saved. I plan on utilizing it more. Probably not that much more because it's going to be now, $20 to ride each way.
Yeah.
Which is robbery. Let's be clear about what that is. But also the secondary school extra buses, that was something that was actually proposed in the last budget. And look, I'm going to be the unpopular one here. I'm actually for the fact that they cut those buses because there's only like 4 high schools here in Windsor that actually use them. And plus, now that they've gotten rid of that, it's going to be allocated to the existing routes. So like South Windsor 7, Dougal 6, Walkerville 8, which I'm a huge, frequent rider of, is going to be reduced times off peak because now it's like 40 minutes on peak or off peak and 30 minutes on. So if, we can reduce the times for those buses and that's the way to do it, then so be it.
So more buses will be coming more often on the regular route.
Yeah,
Yes.
so maybe we need to have just the normal school buses for the high schools, not just taken from the
That's
transit.
something I've been wondering, why do the school board not have?
Yeah, I don't know, because that's all through the school board, right? The city
So
wouldn't
that
have
could-
anything to do with whether or not there's school buses.
So that could be a thing that the school board can now look at is, adding school buses onto those routes.
I think the other thing is a lot of high schoolers can get themselves to school, right?
Rima,
Pretty
what
much,
do you
yeah.
think
Rima,
about
Yeah,
this?
what do you think?
Yes, chime in, please.
We're going to get to you eventually.
I have like 100 thoughts as you guys are
So, yeah,
talking.
share it,
But
share
I'm
it.
actually gonna go back to the tunnel bus thing. Why
Yes.
is it so like heartbreaking for I guess all of you guys that
Zach, put the brick down.
The brick down because the tunnel bus is like a part of Windsor history.
Okay.
Like that's always been a thing here.
Yeah.
Where you can easily get to Detroit and Windsor, and especially when there's like games at Little Caesars Arena, you could take the tunnel bus, get off at Woodward, and take the Q line, the tram in Detroit. So it's like an easily transferable thing. I know I had to. Tunnel bus was my and my sister's last resort when we had to see Taylor because we didn't get the special events bus. So
Yes.
according
Rima?
to
So then-
Riley,
Yeah.
as Riley said, that we're not in the room, so we don't know. But what if, really and truly, because I've worked with Transit Windsor before, like doing social media and stuff for them, and the tunnel bus is definitely, I would say, running the city at a deficit because I've seen multiple times throughout probably like an hour of being there that the bus comes and there's absolutely nobody going on the bus.
there.
So technically they would have good reason to want to remove that in the first place, but I don't know. Why Windsorians?
So I'm going to say, yeah, if you just look at transit by itself. But all of these projects that are happening, we are tearing out. I was just talking about this with somebody else earlier today. We're tearing out a ton of green space beside the town hall, somewhere over there, or city hall, to build an ice rink because we need an ice rink apparently. Spending
A lot.
thousands
We
of
need it.
dollars on
We need
that. We need some sort of shelter to house this historic tram and put that at the riverfront.
We need it.
When we have hundreds of homeless people
Yeah.
in our downtown core, roads that are falling apart, and we're going to take the tunnel bus away, that, sometimes maybe isn't being used, but when there's a game or when there's a concert, it's full. And I actually know people who went to school in the States living here and use the tunnel bus every day.
People go to work like this, so
And people work there. So, I understand if we exhausted all other options, but when we're building such frivolous, ridiculous things that nobody wants and putting millions of dollars into that,
Which is
but
why
then
we-
have to cut the tunnel bus, I think that's unacceptable.
And I'm sorry, like every year paying for these lights.
Yeah, bright lights.
Bright
yeah.
lights, 500,000. Seriously, could buy new buses.
Blood money.
Yes,
Seriously.
We need so we can
Lounge-
run bright lights for free.
Yeah.
and that park, the Jackson Park, is still not open because they still have not finished taking down. So that park is out of use for like 6 months of the year, which is supposed to be public space. So we can spend money on that, but we can't spend money on transit and the tunnel bus.
But we need an ice rink that will be
Apparently.
open probably just next year.
Forget my bus.
so that's where we're kind of coming from. If
For-
that
But
makes sense.
maybe the ice rink might be generating more revenue than a tunnel bus.
It could, but what
We don't need it.
we have 4 other arenas.
don't want it.
And Lansbury Park, they turn into an
Detroit
ice
River can also freeze, I just
It doesn't freeze enough.
I zoomed for a little bit out, and I thought, why we don't have a boat? A boat cross,
A ferry.
a ferry, yes, that will cross to Detroit.
I don't know, because I think the bridge or the tunnel is faster. Because ferries take a
I don't know, it would
long
be
time.
so
I don't know.
beautiful.
The Ambassador Bridge, and plus we have a new bridge opening up too.
Walking bridge,
Yes.
right? And people can walk through it and go by a
Yes,
bicycle.
Gordie Howe, you can walk across.
Also, think about the people who have significant others across the border.
And we need
That's true.
That's
Yes.
right. There's no love like tunnel love. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. That's this edition of Let's Talk. You can find these videos on the Zach Attack Productions YouTube channel. Make sure you join us next time because remember, it's the chatter that matters.
Bye.
So what do people in Toronto think about Windsor? We send Xenia up the highway to find out.
Hello MediaPlex, and I'm Xenia Simanova from Toronto, and today we're making a street tour. I have two questions for people. The first one, where was invented Hawaiian pizza? And the second, what is Windsor? So let's go and ask people around.
Hawaiian pizza. I have no idea. Windsor is a city in Ontario.
Okay, I will be super honest with you. There is no people around. It's so cold outside, but I hope to find someone, and not penguins, but people.
Pizza was invented. I went somewhere in the United States, I'd say.
It was invented in Chatham in Ontario.
Okay, wow. Windsor, I know it's across the border from Detroit. And that's about it.
Vancouver?
Do you know Windsor City?
I've heard of it. I don't know. I know it's like the House of Windsor, the British royal house.
Hawaii? No.
It was in Chatham, Ontario.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. The University of Windsor's there. You can go over the border there. I don't know what else, to be honest.
Oh, there's a Hawaiian pizza? I don't have a idea, like a year?
No, here.
Where? I don't know, Canada. Windsor? No, I don't have idea.
Rizzo, Hawaii, like in Hawaii? Yeah, I know it's famous for casinos. Is it?
It's on the border with Detroit, across the Detroit River. Ambassador Bridge is there.
It was Xenia Simanova from Toronto for the MediaPlex Insider. Have a great day.
Zach is here with another edition of Did You Know?
Behind me is the Michigan Central Railway Tunnel. This 1.2-mile train crossing connects both Detroit and Windsor, Ontario. Prior to its construction, trains had to travel by ferries, and at the time there was only one other train tunnel, and that was the one under the St. Clair River. Construction for this crossing began in 1906 using a building method known as the immersible tube method. This is where tunnel sections were prefabricated and then sunk to the bottom of the river. In July 1910, the project was completed and trains were able to chug along in a way rarely done before. In the early 1990s, the tunnel's north tube underwent a $27 million enlargement to permit passage of stacked container rail cars and multi-level auto carrier rail cars. Legend has it that the tunnel played a part in Prohibition, where small vehicles were used to bring confiscated alcohol across the border. However, this has never been confirmed or denied. The more you know. For the MediaPlex, I'm Zachary Ballard. Let's have a look at our 3-day forecast, and one that doesn't get any more Canadian than this. Wednesday, expect a mix of sun and cloud with a high of -3. Thursday, 4 degrees with periods of freezing rain. And Friday, sunny and back to -3.
Gaming has become so popular, so we went to the panel to find out what's new and what's cool.
Hello gamers and welcome to the panel. My name's Jonathan Beneteau and I'm here with...
Tony Tavaleri.
Georgia LeBlanc.
Tina Tron.
And today for the topic is Nintendo gaming, but specifically they made an announcement in a trailer for the Nintendo Switch 2. Do you have thoughts on it, anyone?
I got a couple thoughts. Like, I think the new system looks interesting. I feel like I like a couple of the new features they added on there, but generally, as a handheld, it looks a little big.
Yeah, a little clunky.
A little clunky. Like, I don't know if the screen needed to be bigger in terms of like a handheld, but in tabletop mode, it actually seems like a lot better of an option than the previous Switch. Like, I know you were talking a little bit about like the stand, Tina.
Yes. Because I was complaining about the stands on the original first Switch, that it's only one side and it's pretty small. Now, like, the new Switch is like the whole thing basically. And I thought that was like to me, that's like one of the big improvement that I wish it had, and now it has it. So I was glad that when I saw it on the trailer too, I was like, thank goodness. Like, I finally like have it handheld or like off the screen and stuff. I play with my Joy-Con controller, stuff like that.
I think the most noticeable and noteworthy, well, I'm probably wrong, but physically wise, like physical appearance wise, is that the controllers now snap in instead of slide in, which our friend Joseph was actually talking about how it might not be great because it would be more susceptible to breaking the connector, because if you don't if you slam it in and if you don't do it properly, then
Yeah, and I figured it would have some sort of like catch and release mechanism or maybe a magnet lock, but yeah. But in that trailer, there was also kind of a reveal going on where there was apparently a 24-player Mario Kart in the trailer. How about that?
I think that's pretty big, especially since this is like the first new Mario Kart game in over 10 years. This is probably going to be a really big step forward. Especially, I feel like in terms of like the online functions of the game, when you see like 24 players there, I'm curious to see if there's going to be new modes and stuff. I know Nintendo has brought out a lot of like their 99 series of games where it's like you play against 99 players. I'm curious if they're going to try to implement that with Mario Kart. I feel like that could be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool.
That means that the whole class can play Mario Kart?
We could. We'd even have extra.
Brings it, yes.
Yeah.
We could have Dave and Larry playing with us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see Dave giving a big thumbs up through the window.
Wouldn't you need, like, I don't know, 24 controllers? Like, how
Bring your own controller. I don't know.
Bring one of your reverse compatible Joy-Cons if they are.
Which, yeah, that is a big thing. I feel like for Switch 2, they could do a Wii and Wii U situation where the old controllers still work with the new system. If that's the case, that's going to be really hype.
All right. Well, thank you, friends. Thank you, gamers. That's a wrap. Thank you for your time on the panel. Once again, I'm Jonathan Beneteau, and I'm here with...
Tony?
Georgia LeBlanc and Rich Garten is calling me right now.
Tina Trong.
And thank you for listening to the panel segment.
So, Zach, you went out on the street and asked only 3 questions. What was that about?
So I went out and decided to ask what Windsorites know about Windsor, and it got really interesting. Rich Garten wasn't involved, but it got really interesting. Let's take a look. Hey everybody, we're here at downtown Windsor at the St. Clair Center for the Arts, and we want to ask some people, what do they know about Windsor? Can I get your name?
My name is Aditya Sharma.
And what program are you studying?
Hospitality, hotel and restaurant.
Okay, do you like it so far?
Kind of. Like, yeah, I like
That's very promising. It's a very promising answer. Kinda. All right, so how long have you been in Windsor for?
I came here in December 2023.
Okay, so you've been here for a while.
More than a year.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you, what is Windsor famous for? What are some things Windsor is famous for?
I think the Caesar and the riverfront is the most eye-catching part in Windsor, and I think that this.
Have you tried our pizza?
Not yet.
Not yet. You've been here for 2 years, and you have not tried pizza.
Like I have tried the pizza, but from the Indian stores, not the proper like pepperoni pizzas and all that, because I am a vegetarian person. That's why.
Ah, that makes sense.
My name is Edua, E-D-U-A.
Okay. Are you from Windsor originally?
I'm from Amherstburg.
Oh, I grew up in Amherstburg.
Okay.
Yes. Well, we have that in common. What is Windsor famous for?
I say Windsor pizza. You can get it the best here in Ontario.
Where do you think where can you get the best pizza?
Antonino's.
Okay, I hear about Antonino's. Not sponsored officially, but I hear great things. So, what is the name of the U.S. state across the border?
Michigan.
Okay, great. So far, the first person who hasn't said Detroit. What Canadian musician was born in Windsor?
I don't know.
Shania Twain was born in Windsor. Yes. There are 2 international crossings. Can you name both of them?
The Ambassador Bridge and the tunnel.
What is the name of the tunnel?
I don't know. There's an official name?
The Detroit-Windsor Tunnel. What is your name?
My name's Lily.
And what are you studying?
I'm studying hospitality, hotel, and restaurant.
Oh, very nice. There are 2 international crossings. What are they?
International crossings. Yes. What is?
From Windsor to Detroit.
Oh, the tunnel and the bridge. The Ambassador Bridge and the
What's the tunnel?
The U.S. Windsor Tunnel?
That's the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel. What is our famous sports team?
Is it hockey?
Yes.
Spitfires?
That is true. That is very true. Well, we asked and we found out. Stay tuned next time for another edition of 3 Questions With. Many graduates of the MediaPlex have gone on to bigger and better things. Sean Preble is one of them.
Hello, I'm Sean Preble, a graduate of St. Clair College's Journalism and Media Convergence programs, coming to you from Global News in Toronto. I currently work here at Global as an online video journalist with the National Online Video Team, and it was thanks to what I learned at St. Clair that brought me to this point. So, if journalism is the type of thing that interests you, check out St. Clair College and see where it can take you.
Pauline Bonet is from Colombia and sings the most beautiful songs. Let's listen.
So this song is called Antes de Ti from the artist Mon Laferte. She's an artist from Chile who has different genres of music, including rock, pop, cumbia, and multiple other styles that she handles in her music. This song specifically means Before You. It's a song about the celebration of the new love, and it means basically just the welcoming of a love that never felt as before, and the first time that someone feels loved for real. So it comes from this saying like, before you, I felt that I was always alone, that I was like walking through the dark side of the moon. I didn't know the love before you. So it's basically the expression and the explanation of like that before a lot of suffering with other people who hurt you, finally you meet someone who is someone that treats you and loves you in a way that is the first time that you know what real and true honest love is.
En mis pupilas no se pueden esconder la soledad que han ido recogiendo. A tu mirada no le puedo mentir. Vi una mujer que caminaba entre la vida y la muerte. En el amor yo nunca tuve suerte. Antes de ti agoté todas mis lágrimas. Después de tanto error, me acostumbré al dolor. Antes de ti, yo no conocía el amor. Estaba sola y triste como esta canción. Transitaba al lado oscuro de la luna. Antes de ti, yo no conocía el amor. Por cada estrella, una atrás toda la tempestad. Antes de ti yo no conocía el amor. Estaba sola y triste como esta canción. Transitaba al lado oscuro de la luna. Antes de ti yo no conocía el amor. Por cada estrella una decepción. No había nada antes de ti, mi amor.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Zachary Balog.
And I'm Kiran Preet Kaur, and you have been watching the MediaPlex Insider.
This has been a St. Clair College MediaPlex production.
I think it's so important to be taught by industry professionals because they know what they're doing. And they're not just teaching because they read it in a book somewhere. They're teaching because they've lived it. I choose to take control of my future, and my path is St. Clair College. I choose to be here.